Welcome to Talking Preps. We're speaking with Bentonville High School football head coach Jody Grant, a favorite of the show. And coach, thank you for taking the time. Big week this week, the Mascot Media Game of the Week. Bentonville, Fayetteville, always a classic. I can imagine it's the talk of the town in Tiger Town.
Yeah, I think anytime you get a chance to have a Bentonville Fayetteville matchup, I think regardless of sport at this point, it's been fun and good and usually a great game. And so I don't expect anything less Friday night.
No doubt about it. So, what is your message to your team this week? And try to keep balanced and keep the emotions in check for such a big game.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, fortunately, really for both programs, we've played in enough big games that our kids should be able to handle this. And, that's what we've talked about is like it's the game we're playing this week. Let's not overanalyze it or overthink it. Just enjoy the week, get better, and go out and try to play the best football we've played yet against a really quality opponent. Because our kids understand the magnitude of the game, and looking forward to the opportunity.
Looking at the schedule, man, you loaded up in the non-conference. Holy cow! Which I understand you want to test your team. You're playing really well now. You're 3-3. How has your team improved since week one?
Yeah, our non-conference was no doubt brutal. Truthfully, it was like you look back on it now. We played one of the top two teams in the state of Oklahoma to open the season. Played to overtime with them. Went to Conway, who I think is obviously one of the top two teams in the state of Arkansas. That did not go very good. A lot of that had to do with Conway. We didn't play good, but most of that had to do with Conway. And then we went to the number one team in Missouri and Lee Summit North. That's just loaded with athleticism. And truthfully, we played pretty well for 3.5 quarters. We were playing really, really good, and so we learned a lot from that. Learned a lot of areas that we needed to improve on, and that was our whole purpose for doing it. So we got into conference play. We could focus on the areas that we need to improve on, and we thought it would look different. And so far, it has. We've played good football for 3 straight weeks, and we got to keep doing that in this tough conference.
As you prepare for Fayetteville, what jumps out off the video as you look at the Bulldogs?
Well, I mean, they're like they always have been. They're good on both sides of the ball and in special teams. You just look at their game last week. They returned a kickoff for a touchdown. They blocked a punt for a touchdown. A lot of special teams things happening in their favor. Defensively, they had two picks. One got ran back to the one. One scored. They're scoring in a lot of different ways. They're very talented on defense, just like they were last year. Very solid defensive unit, well coached. Kids are prepared and understand what their role is. And then offensively, I still see a team that's loaded with athletes. They're good in the run game. I think they've got phenomenal set of receivers. And then quarterback play's obviously been really good for them. And then they always to me have a solid offensive line. Those coaches do a good job. So, really we're getting just a team that's very quality in all three phases, which was what we would expect out of a Fayetteville team. And we're gonna have to play really well and have some stuff go our way. But this is why we play the tough non-conference for games like this.
How beneficial is it to have a game like this at home?
Well, I mean, we think it's significant. I think we have a pretty impressive home record over the last, however many years this facility's been around, and we don't lose very often here. Hopefully, we've already got that loss out of the way when we lost to Union in overtime, but we play good at home. And I think anytime you can have a game against an opponent that's really, really quality, it's a lot better to have them ride on the buses to your place than the opposite of that. So, they play good at home. We play good at home. I'd rather be the home team. I think that could play in our favor. We'll have a great crowd. It'll be an awesome atmosphere for all kids and everybody involved. It'll be, what kids dream of playing in when it comes to Friday night football.
Yeah, it's always a great atmosphere at Bentonville. And one nice thing too, in addition to being at home, you've had a lot of continuity with your staff. How important has that been to your success?
Well, I think it's extremely valuable. We've had a lot of continuity, and we've been fortunate to do that. I think it's beneficial just to our program as a whole for just some longevity with some people and understanding what we're all trying to do. The vision that I have, for the program and our culture and what we're trying to do, they all have the same vision and buy into what we're trying to do, which helps, significantly.
Do you ever get a chance to watch any? I know you're in season. You're watching film for get your team ready. Do you ever get a chance to watch any other football games, or are you just so consumed you don't get a chance to watch other games?
Well, on Saturdays I get a chance to watch a little bit of college football, but I do try
Okay.
to watch the other games within the conference. Unfortunately, I struggle to sleep at night. I think that's job related. So I just flip on the huddle on my iPad and watch just pick an opponent and watch some games and look at different things. And so, I've seen about everybody play in our conference, and so yeah. So I've had a chance to see a lot.
But do you get to watch any college football or NFL, or do you even have the time to do it?
I don't. I try to watch. Like I said, on Saturday, I get home around 2, and I try to spend some time watching football. But sometimes my wife has other plans for me that involve, some stuff I hadn't done all week that a husband needs to do. But usually I'll sit down. I have a couple teams that I follow just because I've got former players there. Utah State. I've got two at Utah State, so I like to watch them play. I've got one at Tennessee. I like to watch Chaz Nimrod at Tennessee, and then obviously. I follow Arkansas and try to watch. I've got two there, and then I try to truthfully, I try to track my Division II guys as well, and just kind of follow them through live streams of where they're at and what they're doing. We have a quarterback at Henderson State that's going to end up being a Harlan Hill candidate, in
Oh,
Andrew Edwards
awesome.
uh, from about 4 years ago, and so it's fun to watch all that. But no NFL for me. We work all day on Sunday, and sometimes if I get home on a Monday night after a JV game, I might be able to catch the last quarter of a Monday Night Football or something like that. But no, not really. To be honest with you, people start talking about NFL football, and I don't have a clue.
Yeah. Okay. One last question. What is the best part for you about coaching high school football?
Well, truthfully, that one's probably pretty easy for me. The just having the opportunity to have a positive impact on kids in a very important phase of their life, and I think that you can't take that lightly. You got to get it right because you don't want to get it wrong because it can have a negative effect. And listen, there's a lot that goes on in this world with coaching. There's a lot of things you have to deal with, but I try to make my whole purpose is to be there for them and help them grow into being great husbands and great men, and ultimately just hopefully we win some football games along the way.
If it wasn't for if it wasn't coaching, what do you think you'd be doing?
That's a good question. I like the idea of having a job that financially rewards you for success. I think that would drive me to work hard. I already do work hard, but I think there's
Hmm.
some interest there. I'd like to be able to tell you I'd be on the PGA Tour, but my golf game says otherwise. So I think I'm in the right spot. I think I'm doing what I need to be doing.
Yes, I think so too. When we thank you for dedicating your life to helping young men and the impact it's had, we greatly appreciate it. We need more coaches like you. Trust me, I appreciate it. Well, Jody, I appreciate the time. Thanks so much. Best of luck Friday night, and we'll catch up with you down the road.
Okay, thanks, Blair. Good talking to you.
Good talking to you.